I mean, I'm not desperately interested in doing shows anymore. I mean, why does one do a show? I suppose, when you're starting, you do it because it gives you a certain amount of confidence, and as you get a little bit more established, you hope it's going to potentially get you work, and then as you get more established, it's a more prestige sort of gallery, etc. And all those are reasons for having exhibitions. But there does come a time when frankly, an exhibition is a lot of work. What I can do, I think now, is if I have a reason for doing something, is to put on shows which can be expanded. And by that, I mean, in a place like the Workers' Gallery, I can put on a show, and as long as I put on that show which has a reason, and I keep emphasizing this, I want a reason, and I have invented this. I quite like inventing reasons. And so I've invented this 25-mile radius thing, which means that if I have a show in a small gallery, there's a reason for having the show, because the pictures are all going to be within 25 miles, and therefore it suddenly becomes a community thing. It's not me saying, I need a show. It's me saying, I can put on a set of pictures of which people in the community can relate to. And I suppose what I'm really most interested in is whether I can somehow persuade 4 kids in the area to suddenly realize that photography is a potential for them. So I emphasize very much in what I'm doing that I'm doing a job, because what I'm saying to a young person is, don't get carried away, oh, this is art or something like that, which they might think is outside their realms, or their parents might think is out their realm. I'm saying this is a job. Tesco's stacking shelves is a job, and photography is a job. But photography, in my opinion, is a more fun job, So for me, the show is almost the minor thing. That's the core that allows you to build a framework around it. So you can produce posters and you can produce brochures, and in those brochures, if you're careful about the way you write stuff in the brochure, you can say in the brochure things like, as I have in the very nice brochure we've got, photography is my job. That means that a young person, surprisingly, you put into their head that there's the possibility of getting a job out of the thing. And not only that, but if the people that are running the gallery are enthusiastic, then we can develop it a lot. So one of the things that I hope to do is to maybe shoot half a dozen things in the area, so that I have a couple of new pictures that can go on the walls with the 40-odd pictures that I'm giving them, which brings it up to date. And in a perfect world, I mean, in my fantasy world, I would be shooting pictures whilst the show was up and taking some pictures down and putting up new pictures. So I really want this involvement. I want it to be a fluid process. And in my particular case, I know the gallery need money, etc. So one of the things I'm going to do is spend a day there shooting portraits at what professionally would be called a rather small fee, which I hope locals could afford to buy, and that will be fun, because again it's to do with community. But there's a purpose for it in that the money is all going to go to the gallery, So it's like doing a jigsaw puzzle of which you keep making the jigsaw puzzle a little bit bigger if you're lucky. And it's a jigsaw puzzle which has almost overtones about getting jobs and things like that without pushing that too hard. Does that all make sense?